Alright, so welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're actually going to be discussing on how exactly you can improve your email deliverability in 2025. And if you're watching this video, then you're probably doing email outreach at the moment, and you just know the exact methodology that is going on and how exactly you can kind of improve your email deliverability in 2025. Because nowadays, Google, Microsoft, they've kind of increased the spam filters so that your emails are kind of bounded into reaching the right prospects, though it might be cold emails, but at the end of the day, you're just helping them to improve their business. And this cold email strategy will only work for B2B companies. And if you're a B2B SaaS company, then you're on the right track, right? And for a quick reference, my name is Moiz Huram, and I'm the founder and CEO of Leadamax. We're a B2B SaaS focused agency who solely focus on helping B2B SaaS clients getting more financially qualified demo calls booked into the calendar and making sure you close out such deals, right? And how exactly we do it? We simply set up your infrastructure setup, go-to-market strategy, lead generation, appointment setting, and closing deals, the most crucial part. We even train your SDR team so that they can close those deals, those demo calls, we're getting them more effectively and efficiently, right? That being said, not going to waste much of your time, and let's get started with the video. Right, so email deliverability in 2025 and how exactly you can reach and convert more leads into financially qualified demo calls. And of course, it's perfect for all the B2B companies and especially for B2B SaaS companies in 2025 for their outreach strategies, right? Now, let's get started. So first of all, why exactly you should listen to me. So as I mentioned previously, we're a B2B SaaS focused agency, right? And these were some of the campaigns that we actually ran for our clients. Bulk campaign, of course, these are some of the testing campaigns, and so as the more scaling campaigns, but this was one through which actually saw major results, right? Then some more campaigns, some more results, and the list goes on, right? That being said, so this is going to be the email deliverability blueprint, right? First of all, you're going to learn about email warm-up and repetition management, how exactly what to do in email warm-up, how many days, how many weeks, and when exactly do you need to stop? Do you even need to warm up your email inboxes when you're sending out those campaigns? So all these questions are going to be answered in this video. Then DNS authentication. If you're doing cold emails, then you probably know DNS records, really important. But the thing is that we've actually ran some experiments as well. With DNS records, it actually ensures your emails are landing into the right inbox. We're going to learn about every single term and why exactly do you need DNS records to basically send those cold emails and specifically to get more clients into your business, more customers into your business, right? Then list quality and engagement metrics. Even you're doing everything right, but does your list actually matters? And surely it does. We're going to learn about that as well. And email content and sending practices. Which are the best sending practices you need to follow? When do you exactly need to convert those email inboxes and kind of change that? And what are the benchmarks you need to follow in that, right? Then sending infrastructure, what setup you're going to use. How many emails do you need to send per email inbox, right? Really important, right? That being said, so first of all, email warm-up and repetition management. Why it matters. ISPs and spam filters, they closely monitor new senders, and a sudden surge in email volume can basically flag your domains as suspicious. For example, I've just bought a new domain, right? I've just bought a couple of inboxes, and at the start, the email limit and the volume I'm sending is going to be 0. But next day, I kind of ramp up and just start sending hundreds and thousands of email from that specific domain. 110% is going to be marked as spam. Reason being, because that specific email inbox is not used. It's not used to kind of send such numbers. Basically, you want to increase that numbers gradually, right? Really simple. You want to scale those numbers up time by time. It takes time, but the time is surely worth it, right? So, as I mentioned previously, what are the best practices? Gradually increase your sending volume over a few weeks, right? You can start by 5 to 10 to 15 to 25, right? it really matters in terms of that. You can also have odd numbers, which I personally would prefer that. Let's say, and random numbers, I would say 7, let's say 16. So 7, it should be 7 to 14, but we're going to go from 7, 16, 21, 23, then 30. You want to change the numbers, because let's say I'm sending one email on, or let's say we're sending 5 emails in one day. Next day we're sending 5 more, so 10. It's more like robotic. It basically feels like it's kind of automated, so you want to avoid that, right? Then you want to start with engaged recipients, existing contacts, and warm leads. This is only possible. You can also use Lemwarm, really good tool. You can use that if you basically have your previous domains. You can send your email inboxes and kind of send emails to those specific domains. And based on that, if any of the domain or any of the copy actually lands into the spam, just take it out by yourself, right? But nowadays, it's really automated. You can simply use Smart Lead and Smart Delivery. They can do it that for you, right? Then you want to monitor your bounce rates, spam complaints, and engagement to adjust accordingly. If you're getting bounce rate more than 4%, then you should be looking at your email inbox. What exactly is going on? Is your email copy the main issue in terms of that? Is your ICP, is your lead list the main issue? You want to figure that out, right? Then you want to use tools like Lemwarm, as I mentioned previously, MailReach, and Warmbox, or just to automate the warm-up, right? So Lemwarm is actually on the expensive side, but really good tool to warm up your emails in email inbox specifically. Reason being, basically when you're actually onboarding into Lemwarm, it asks you what's your industry like, what should be your copy like. So that kind of makes the email inbox kind of used to it. And based on that, you can use the specific industry and simply get the lead list and the ICP and just send out those campaigns after 2-3 weeks, which I'm going to mention in the next slides, right? Then you want to maintain a low complaint rate, and that is going to be 0.1% to keep a healthy sender score. Really obvious, really just your complaint rate should be really low, right? That being said, DNS authentication, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and BIMI, which you probably don't know about that. So why matters? Because email authentication prevents phishing, spoofing, and spam classification. Without proper DNS records, ISPs, they may block or reject your emails. So really simple to understand, it's non-negotiable. You need to set up your DNS records. You need to set up SPF, DKIM, DMARC. All the DNS records should be set up for every single email inbox. That's it. Non-negotiable, right? Then SPF, so it's a sender policy framework. It basically defines which servers can send emails on your behalf. Basically prevents spoofing, right? You want to set that up. Then, of course, we don't need to kind of discuss about what it actually does, but all matters that you need to set up at no cost, right? It's non-negotiable, right? Then DKIM, it basically adds a digital signature to verify that your email hasn't been tampered with, right? Then DMARC, of course, it tells ISPs how to handle unauthenticated email or that are basically non-quarantine or rejected, right? It kind of puts the email and bounces back into your email inbox, right? BIMI, brand indicators for message identification. It displays your logo in email inbox, Google, Yahoo, and if you're using that, you're probably living in 2015, I would say. Don't use Yahoo, right? Then when all authentication is correct. So what it means is that, have you seen a logo? Have you seen a profile picture? That is BIMI. You should always have that. You should always have that to make sure the email is actually coming from a well-known person. And you should always, and speaking about well-known person, you should have your brand authentication out there. You should have your brand presence out there. All right, that being said, you can simply use tools like MX Toolbox, DMARC Analyzer, or Glock apps to kind of check all the configurations if everything's been set up. If not, just go into there, enter your IP, enter your email inbox, and just enter all the details that it actually requires, especially in MX Toolbox. If free of cost, use that and you'll figure out on how exactly you can do that. It even provides you on how exactly you can do that if your DNS records are not being set up correctly, right? That being said, list quality and engagement metrics. First of all, why it matters. So sending emails to low quality or unengaged lead list actually increases the bounce rates. And also, the matter of fact, the spam complaints would be more, because you would be sending your emails, you would be sending those copies out to those prospects, out to those people who don't even need your service or the problem you're trying to solve. No point, of course, right? Then it also kind of increases the domain blacklisting, right? So you want to use double opt-in to ensure recipients genuinely want your emails. So another really important point in terms of that, before you send out those emails, you want to double validate those emails to make sure are they even the right prospects that have that email. If not, you'll be kind of messing that up. Because let me give you a quick scenario in terms of that. We actually ran a test campaign. It was more like an experiment just to understand what exactly happens in terms of the emails, right? We simply used one email inbox to send 1,000 emails in one day, right? And that email was super targeted, the messaging was super targeted, and the ICP was super targeted. Guess what? We only had two to three spam complaints. Reason being, because it's more about what you're sending and to whom you're sending, right? Hopefully that makes sense. What you're sending to whom you're sending. If you basically send me more like an email about basically kind of adding more customers into the agency, I'll be more than happy to read it. If you're sending, for example, I need to buy a car, you send me an email, oh, we've got cars and basically on this offer, I would be more than happy to read it. Of course, I wouldn't mark it as spam, but I simply want car and you just send me emails about a bunch of bicycles they're selling, I'll simply mark it as spam because I don't need that, right? Really easy to understand. So you want to verify your email addresses using tools like Zero Bounce, Never Bounce, or Bright Verify. Zero Bounce is recommended. It's really affordable at the same time. You can use Million Verifier. Really, really good tool. And speaking about that, specifically about Clay, right? You can simply have email waterfall function in Clay. You can validate those emails. You can find those work emails through Clay. Really, really useful tools. I've also made a couple of videos. You can simply go into Leadamax and search for these videos. It'd probably be a first line Clay tutorial, something like that. Watch it. Really, really useful videos, right? Then you want to regularly clean inactive or unengaged contacts to keep your list fresh. So for example, there are a bunch of emails and a bunch of leads that are into the, I would say, those haven't engaged with your content. Just take them out. Take them out, make a separate Excel file, put it in a separate folder, and after a couple of months, once they have basically changed their job title or something like that, something new has happened into the business, then try to reach out to them. If they still haven't responded, then discard them. That's it. Then monitor key engagement metrics, right? So first of all, open rates. Aim for 40% or more for cold emails. I personally don't track open rates for my agency, for Leadamax, as well as for my clients. Really, really simple to understand. Open rate is more like a transparent HTML image that is embedded into your email copy. So in speaking about emails, you want to send only text emails, right? Reason being, nowadays, or for example, what a spammer does is basically you want to avoid that. Spammer sends a bunch of emails in terms of having a bunch of links, having a bunch of catchy images. You want to basically avoid that. So you want to be simply opposite to what a spammer does, right? Then reply rates. Aim for 8 to 10% in terms of positive reply rates. Of course, the one which you would be basically getting from the simple replies, right? That includes not interested, out of office, right? Aim for probably, I would say, 3 to 4%. That's actually a really good number in terms of that. But specifically for positive reply rates, I would say 8 to 10% is kind of very, very minimum. And just to make sure it should be good, it should be minimum 20%, right? That being said, bounce rates. You want to keep it below 2%. If it's actually more than that, you want to check your email copies, what exactly is going on wrong. Use MX Toolbox. That's it. Spam complaints, of course, should be below than 0.1%, right? That being said, all right, email content and best sending practices. So why it matters, right? Poorly formatted emails with spammy content can actually trigger spam filters and reduce deliverability. Really simple to understand, as I mentioned previously. What a spammer does, you want to avoid that, because at the end of the day, you should know you are doing such a job, you're doing such a role that actually helps the other companies out there, adding more customers into the pipeline, whether you're just selling website services, whether you're just selling a CRM, really useful CRM. It all matters. As long as you're solving a problem and making sure you're targeting the right prospects, everything's good, right? So you want to avoid spam triggered words. Really easy to understand. Free, guarantee, money back, urgent, act now. It all feels like spam, as what a spammer would send to you. Then you want to personalize your emails. Use the recipient's name, company, and pain points. I've also made one really great videos on how exactly you can use poke the bear strategy. That is really, really useful in terms of that. The reason I would say is always try to sell a problem rather than solution, because everyone knows for every problem out there, there is a solution, but they don't know which solution is the perfect go-to choice, right? Keep your emails short, to the point. 3 to 5 sentences work best for cold outreach, right? Of course, as I mentioned previously, what you can do, you can simply make sure your every single email copy doesn't have more than 4 to 5 lines, right? And the words do not exceed more than 150 words. 150 words maximum if you've got a long value proposition offer, but 150, below than 150, really good number, right? Then you want to use a proper text to image ratio. As I mentioned previously, I personally don't send images, but if you want to send it to kind of create more relevance, to basically use it as meme that Lemnis feature does offer, you can use that, right? But there should be a good ratio in terms of that. For example, you're sending 5 text email and there should be only 1 image email, right? Then include an easy opt-out option to prevent spam complaints. I personally don't think that you should have unsubscribe links, right? Rather than having an unsubscribe link, add into the PS line something like, if you don't want more free value, please let me know. I'll take you out of the list, something like that, right? Then you want to A/B test your subject lines, body copy to improve engagement, right? Time by time, you want to test out different angles, which angles actually work the best in terms of the subject line, in terms of the CTA. For example, you're using a subject line in terms of a quick question and having a really long. For example, the quick question works really well. You want to use that and kind of test that with more subject lines as well, like quick question, thoughts, right? You want to test that as well. And same with CTA. For example, having a CTA like, want to book more demo calls, or let's hop on a call, right? On the other hand, you have a CTA something like, want to learn more. Of course, want to learn more will basically work better because it feels less pushy. It basically requires less efforts to understand and kind of promise out a time towards the prospect, towards a team, towards a company, right? Then lastly, sending infrastructure and volume control. Really, really important, right? Why it matters, because ISPs, they track sending behaviors, sudden spikes in email volume, sending from low repetition domains, or using shared IPs that can hurt your deliverability, right? Really simple, but if it's actually done right, really, really useful thing, right? So you want to use a dedicated IP. If you're sending large volumes, you can have dedicated servers. Smartly does offer that. You can check that out. Of course, this video isn't sponsored, but still, if a company is doing a really great job and is basically helping other companies kind of get more customers, you should always target towards them, right? Then, if using a shared IP, ensure it's from reputable ESP, Google Workspace, Amazon, SES, and Mailgun. Forget Amazon, SES, and Mailgun, right? Google Workspace, Microsoft, really good if you want to go with shared IP. You can even use SMTP. Nowadays, SMTPs are working really well. We've actually tested for some of our clients, and it actually performs really well for a couple of months. But after some time, the domains die down, right? The server die downs. But, it's the part of the game. And if you want to have like push up the campaigns and have really good deliverability, go for SMTP, right? But if you want to go for longevity and basically kind of, I would say, make sure those domains and basically making sure those domains perform for a longer period of time, just go for the shared IPs, right? Then you want to monitor domain repetition, right? So monitor the domain repetition and use tools like Google Postmaster tools, Senderscore, or Clock Apps, right? You can use that tools and monitor your domain repetition and kind of automate that with API keys, right? Then you want to throttle the sending volume. As I mentioned previously, start slow, right? And gradually scale up. So first week, probably send 50 to 100 emails a day. And second week, send 200 to 300 emails a day. Third week, scale based on the response you're getting. And third week, you want to test and basically figure out what exactly is going well, what exactly is going wrong. And based on that, just increase the numbers, right? And also use custom tracking domains for links to prevent ESP blacklisting, right? There's actually a function in every single sending platform out there. Just use that, follow the guide on how exactly you can set that up. Really simple process, right? So this was the complete setup in terms of that, and hopefully you found the video really helpful. And if you're a B2B SaaS companies looking to scale their operations and adding more customers in the pipeline, you've got your back. All you have to do is just go into the description. There's actually a link for my calendar. Just book an intro call with me. In that call, we'll basically discuss your problems, what is your product like, and how exactly we can drive a perfect solution to overcome all of your outreach problems, right? That being said, we help B2B SaaS companies book 25 plus financially qualified demo calls into your calendar every single month, right? And that is guaranteed, of course. If we basically fail to deliver, we'll keep on working for free from our pocket until you achieve the results, right? That being said, check out the calendar link and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more actionable strategies and insights that will eventually help your B2B company skyrocket through the pipeline, right? That being said, till then, peace.